Ready? Good morning. I am so glad you're here. It's a beautiful day here in Western Pennsylvania, and I am getting ready to show you how to make homemade, old-fashioned dinner rolls. I worked in a bake shop for most of my teenage years, and one of the locals' favorites was our dinner rolls. I made so many of them, and I'm going to show you how. We have lots of work to do. Dinner is coming. Let's get busy. Before we get started, just a couple things. We're going to be using an enriched dough. An enriched dough is anything outside of the basic four, which is flour, water, salt, and yeast. Enriching it is typically using like dairy products. We're going to be adding milk and eggs and butter and sugar. So we are really enriching this dough. The enriched part of the dough, that's what makes it soft and tender and fluffy, and that's how our rolls are going to be. This recipe is going to make 24 beautiful dinner rolls. The recipe, speaking of that, is in the description below. So go ahead and take a second, print that out, and then you can follow along. All the ingredients and the measurements are in that recipe. So let's get busy. The first thing we're going to do is warm 1 cup of whole milk. That's 250 milliliters. We're using whole milk because we want the extra fat, which again lends itself to that more tender, moist bread dough. So we're going to heat this in the microwave, 20-second increments, stir in between, and then just touch with the back of your finger each time. Just keep checking for that nice warm bath water temperature. Once you get there, we'll add the yeast in. Our milk is nice and warm. Next, we're adding in 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. That is 9 grams. And this active dry yeast, I'm using this because it'll give us 2 nice rises. We're going to do 1 cold rise and then 1 room temperature once we make the rolls. This will serve us very well. Active dry yeast has larger granules, so it does need to be dissolved in liquid. And then the other thing that we want to do to wake up our yeast is we're adding sugar. This will not make our rolls sweet, but it does help to wake up the yeast. This is 3 tablespoons, and that is 39 grams. I'm going to give this just a gentle stir. I'm trying to at least make sure that the sugar that I dumped in there gets stirred in. And now we wait. We'll put this aside for 5 to 10 minutes. What we're looking for is an active, bubbly, foamy yeast. So we'll check this in 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, we'll put our dry ingredients together. I'm using this super cool scale that has 2 different measurement capabilities. I love it so much. We're going to add 3 1/4 cups of flour, which is 410 grams, to this bowl. The next thing we're going to do is 9 grams of salt, or 1.5 teaspoons. Done with the scale. Put the salt in there. And give this a whisk. We do want to make sure that the salt is evenly distributed into the flour. I'm going to put our dry ingredients right into the mixing bowl. So what a beautiful thing. If you look closely, you can actually see this yeast is alive and well. You can see it moving and working, doing its thing. Gorgeous. We're going to add 2 eggs into this. I'm going to give them a little bit of a whisk first. These are room temperature. They are nice and warm. I don't want to shock our yeast. I'm just going to pour that right in there. Give that a stir. Wow. It's warm in my house today, so this is really just foaming. This is active like crazy. I'm loving it. Next, we're adding this beautiful yeasty, yummy mixture right into our dry ingredients. I'm using a paddle attachment. We're going to give this a mix for 1 minute. You'll just use your regular beaters if you're hand mixing. I'm putting it on the stir mode, so just low. Scrape down your bowl. Okay, now, again, low speed, or I'm using stir on my mixer here. We're gonna add butter in, 1 tablespoon at a time, 8 tablespoons or 113 grams. Make sure it's nice and warm, 1 tablespoon at a time. What you wanna do is just watch. Once you make sure that that butter is incorporated, then you add the next tablespoon in. Keep doing this till you have it all in there. This should take maybe 3 to 4 minutes. Mine is going faster because it's very warm in my house right now. Gotta love Pennsylvania. We freeze in the winter and we're really hot in the summer. I don't know. The butter is all incorporated. The dough is kind of stringy and silky, shiny, very sticky. I'm gonna shut this off. So I scraped the bowl down. I just want you to see what the dough looks like at this point. It's really sticky. It sticks to your fingers. So this is certainly not something you could work with yet. So it needs that 5 minutes of work with the mixer. I am switching to a bread hook, putting this on medium speed, and I'm gonna just let this for 5 minutes do its magic. So now the dough has definitely come together. Just want to show you what it looks like now. It's much smoother in texture. It's still sticky. That is the nature of this. It is enriched. It has a lot of butter. It has eggs. It has sugar. There's a lot going on there that makes this sticky, but that is also what's going to make it nice and tender and moist. We're going to put our dough in a bowl. We're actually going to cold proof our dough. And I'll explain why in a second here. You want to put oil in the bottom of the bowl, spread it up the sides so that when the dough is rising, it doesn't stick to the sides. I'm just actually using olive oil, but whatever oil you have. Okay. Put the dough right in there. Smells so nice. I keep saying that. It does. It smells amazing. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. We want this to stay really nice and moist, so you want to use plastic wrap. If you're using a towel and you love doing that, then I would say at least make sure that it's damp. This is going to go into the refrigerator for 2 hours. And you can actually leave this in the refrigerator for up to 2 days if you would like. The reason we're doing the refrigerator is this is called a cold rise, cold proofing, or even retarding. It is allowing the first rise to be really slow. It gives the yeast more time to do its job. It enhances the texture and the flavor of our rolls. And it actually gives us more efficient use of our time because I can make this dough, put it in the refrigerator, and if I know I have dinner plans, I can actually bake these rolls tomorrow. So you have the efficiency of time is on your side with this cold proofing method. So at any rate, today I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. It will double in size. It just goes nice and slow, slows that chemical process down and allows the yeast just to do its job in a more effective way. Then we'll pull it out and we'll shape it and give it its second rise. This, my friends, is a beautiful thing. Look at this dough. It was in the refrigerator for 3 hours. And it looks amazing. Let me just show you. You touch this, it bounces right back. It is ready to go. You want to generously grease a 13 by 9 pan and just put that aside. I have flour here and a bench scraper. You're going to need a bench scraper if you don't have one, a sharp knife. We're going to make lots of cuts. I'm going to put some flour down for the initial, just getting the dough out of the bowl, getting it to a workable texture. We'll go from there. Let's get this dough out. If you do this, you're going to be so happy with this. It is the nicest dough to work with. Okay. A little helpful hint, when you first dump it out, the bottom is a little stickier and more damp. So it's always best to dump it so that the drier part that was on the top comes onto the counter. It's just a little more helpful that way and less likely to stick onto the counter. All right, now we have to transform this into 24 little balls that are going to become dinner rolls. Basically just getting it into a fairly even shape so that I can cut it into 24 pieces. So rather than me giving you a whole bunch of numbers and cuts, I'm just going to say follow along and watch what I'm doing. I'm going to start by cutting this in half. If your knife is sticking, just keep putting flour on it. So now we have 8 pieces and we're going to cut each of these 8 pieces into 3 and then we'll start rolling. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you roll these into a nice, neat little ball. Take your dough. I'll take a square one. I'll just show you. Here's a nice square one. Put it down on the counter, no flour, and you just put your hand, you're going to cup your hand like this, and you just move gently in a circle, and this really amazing thing happens. It turns into a beautiful little ball, and that is all there is to it. And you're going to do that 24 times. And you see, it just kind of folds it up on the bottom. It's kind of magic. I don't know. The dough starts to stick, you do flour a little. And not to show off or anything, but when you get really good at this and when you get really used to it, you can do 2 at a time. So this is what we have. I think they look amazing. They're beautiful. This dough was so nice to work with. It's so soft and tender. I'm going to put some plastic wrap on top of these. I will cover the plastic wrap with like a baking spray so that they shouldn't touch the top of this, but if they happen to, they would stick. So cover it with plastic wrap, let them sit in a warm place until they do their second rise, which could take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours depending on the temperature of your house. I will see you back here in a minute. I'm going to show you what these look like. They have doubled in size. Oh, they smell so good. I love the smell of that yeast. I don't know what it is, but I love that smell. So these are ready to go in the oven. I have the oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit, or that's 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to put them in for, I'm going to say like 20 minutes. I'm going to just peek through. We're looking for golden brown. Every oven is different, so just keep an eye on them. They could take up to 30 minutes or even 35, depending on your oven. We're starting with 20 minutes. So let's get these in the oven. Okay. golden brown. They look amazing. They smell amazing. Wow. Look at that, they're beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's all I can say, wow, yay. While these are still warm, we're gonna spread some melted butter on the tops of these rolls. Just for some extra added flavor. I have been patiently waiting. These are nice and cool. Finally, I'm going to cut one out here and we're going to just look at the texture. I'm going to taste it. They look amazing. Ooh, yum. So look at this. Let me just show you. That is just beautiful. Look at that. Soft, tender. I'm gonna try a bite. They are fabulous. So I am going to finish this, but before that, I just want to say we made it. We made beautiful dinner rolls. If you had fun making these with me, check out my playlist. I have so many more fun recipes. I will see you in the next video.